Thank you so much, everybody. Now I would request for a group picture. We'll continue with the panel discussion and presentation on technical textile. No, right now. Yes.
So, please cheer the round for me.
I would now like to welcome our guest joining us for the discussion and presentation on technical textile. I welcome Dr. Ajit Nigam, Director and CEO, NFDI, Ministry of Textile, Government of India. Mr. SM Zilur Rahman, Chairman, Rahman Group, Bangladesh. Dr. Mohan Kumar R, Founder, Fanplay IoT. Mr. Falguni Roy, Process Leader, Decathlon Sports India. Mr. Satyamrut, Chief Metaverse Product Manager, Sumeru Digital Solutions. And Mr. Raja Naik, South India President, Dalit India Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I request all our guests to take the seat on the dais. We also call upon Mr. Avinash Kaushik, Founder and CEO, Wakawall. Now requesting Dr. Ajit Kumar to kindly take the stage and start with the panel discussion and presentation on technical textiles. FDI, Ministry of Textile, Government of India, to kindly take the stage and start with the panel discussion and presentation on technical textile.
Hi, good afternoon. Morning session was beautiful handlooms, lovely sarees, and what have we done with all those handlooms and handicrafts? Some of them are alive, some are dying. There are interventions required, and along with the multiple people we are looking at what kind of interventions doing. So switching gears, moving to a sector which is part of textiles, but it's kind of becoming a buzzword in the country. So we're talking about technical textiles. What do technical textiles really mean? What is it, and what should the country do as such? One, to promote the exports of technical textiles, leading to employment generation. Two, what are other countries doing? What are their thoughts about it? Would like to hear from them. Then, when we connect this, think of technical textiles, and from a perspective of a new world, the Web 3.0, the metaverses. Is metaverse really a dream, or is it something which is going to make a lot of business sense? So metaverse and technical textiles both appear to be totally different things. But look at aircraft engines and metaverse. I don't know. So this is going to be a very interesting and open thought. I'm going to request each one of you to talk about what technical textiles is and what Web 3 is, and how we as a country are going to marry the two. People present here are part of thought leaders, and the idea is to think from that perspective. And I'm sure the organizational team is recording this. We will relook at whatever is being discussed, put this into real action points. I know Dr. Mohan is doing a lot of work on this sports tech. How does that translate into metaverse? No clue. And would like to learn from you that has Bangladesh taken some steps in that direction? Yes, on the government side, you guys are doing great, and the kind of costings which you have been able to achieve really talks about efficiencies in the system. Only then your cost gets low. You've taken advantage of the lower labor cost. So it is not just the labor cost. There have to be multiple other variables which ensure that this is done. Would like to hear from you. So, technical textiles, metaverse, and international experience. What you're thinking about? So I would like to hear from you. Has Bangladesh done any work? What are your plans?
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Ajit Kumar. About this, already with Bangladesh this is implemented, and we have lot of demand in Bangladesh for this technical textile, which we are now involved our textile division, textile sectors. This in the world, I think by 2024, it is about $208.5 billion as the will be involved in this for this technical textile sector. So it is a big amount. It is a big volume for the technical textile. And in Bangladesh, we see this is for the if it's the technical textile, this is for the agriculture, agrotech. In the health sector, the health tech, and in the medical sector, meditech. It's also even in the construction sector, the constructech. Like this is also in Bangladesh started. And I think we have to follow the latest technology, latest demand, latest trends of the fashion. And in this regards, technical textile in Bangladesh already our government supporting, and the private sector, they are going forward on this sector. Thank you.
All right. So let's hear from you. When we talk about technical textiles, from your perspective, what are we really doing? Are we talking about geotextiles? Are we talking about? So there are 12 sectors, sub-sectors within technical textiles, and lot of them require huge investments, but some of them can be done with the limited amount of capital investments. So your thoughts on that?
Thank you, sir. And I'm Avinash Kaushik, founder CEO of Waka World. We are building a fashion metaverse. So when you say metaverse, it's another new medium for showcasing fashion. Fashion is all about self-expression, right? So we spend on an average today in social media like 10 minutes globally. But what is predicted is in the very near future, we will be spending 1 hour, close to 1 hour in these digital worlds. And in these digital worlds, we have our own manifestation in terms of our own avatars, and avatars can be in any shape and form. You can get as creative as possible. So if you are a sports fan, you need the digital sports bar. You may be wearing a jersey of your favorite football club or a cricket club. You may have it need not be just textile or just pixel textile, but it can also be animated expressions, could be a fire on your head and a crown and so on, right? You can get as creative as possible. So it's a very creative world. So metaverse is just another medium for socializing in a digital world, in a virtually immersive world. 1/3 of the world is already into gaming. Not our generation, but the next generation, Gen Z.
You're not that old.
I am pretty old. I'm starting gray hair. So the new age Gen Z, Gen X, my daughter who's 10-year-old, she's already in Roblox and spending a lot of time. She meets her, and whatever I am building, like as a fashion metaverse for retail, is ancient for them because they are already used to seeing that. So the new generations are spending more time. They are all digitally born. They are digitally native. So they born with the internet. So we grew up with the radio and TV and Doordarshan, and now we are seeing internet and live video commerce, and now metaverse, right? We've seen the entire journey, but the new age, the gaming economy, which is 1/3, 3 billion people today are into gaming, right? So they are exposed to immersive world. And in immersive world, it's not just for gaming. Now you can also create your retail showroom in a immersive world. So as textile or fashion industry, we can showcase fashion in this immersive world, and to cater to not just the physical textile, which is fabric, but also the pixels needed for your avatars in these immersive worlds. The metaverse is still a full-fledged metaverse, will take time, but as we progress, we will see many use cases. The most obvious use case for the industry is to showcase a retail showroom, showcase a designer's collection, and also for individuals to have avatars and share their avatar wearing different assets, digital fashion assets, right? So that's the opportunity we are seeing. And then when it is digital asset, you need to have a copyright or you need to have ownership, right? It becomes very difficult. Anybody can copy. It's just an image, it's just a OBJ file, right? Anybody can copy, there is no ownership of that. So for that reason, there is digital asset rights in form of blockchain-based digital asset, which is what we are talking about, tokenized NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and so on. So that's being created on Web3 stack, which is very decentralized. Everything is on the blockchain, so it's just a contract. It is very technical and it sounds very tough, but at the end of the day, it's just simple copyright. You're on a blog, smart contract which is on the internet, which is on the blockchain. So that's Web3, right? So that it is creating an opportunity for fashion makers like designers and creators to own an asset and claim their ownership through a blockchain-based infrastructure, right? So that there are two separate things. Metaverse is an immersive world, and Web3 is more a blockchain-based decentralized world. They are merging together to make it more powerful. So we are working with fashion brands and retailers to create this immersive showrooms so that designers can showcase. So for example, early this February, we ran the Digital Fashion Week New York City. So in February. So the entire tech was powered by Bangalore-based team for a US-based fashion show. So this is the power Asia has and India has, and also obviously Bangladesh has to lead this industry into the new world. And it's a very co-creative world. So it's an open field. So it's an opportunity for everybody to come and create together.
Right. So the world itself, and there are people from the traditional textile industry here, and what you're saying would require changes in the business model itself, the way they are doing business, and over a period of time one has to start preparing for that. You said you wanted to give a presentation and talk about?
Yeah, honestly, ready the video.
Yeah, share the video.
Yeah.
Can we have the video, please?
Yeah, it's a YouTube link. Yeah, Metaverse. So before that, like my fellow said that Metaverse, it's not going to shut down the traditional market, the Metaverse. Many of things right now, Metaverse is going to shut down the traditional market, how we market. It's not going to that. Rather, it's going to bring the best of both physical and digital world. I can give you an example. Like, especially India, we have rich heritage of culture, traditions and artisans which you may not find in other parts of the world. But using Web3, the power of Web3 is such that you will really help those artisans to get benefit for their creations, the royalty. The NFT systems will really benefit each of the stakeholders who are from the right artisans to the final outcome, the producers. So we can develop such mechanism through which we can reverse our business model, we can remodel our business model such that each and every one in this play can get real benefits. Because right now, what is the problem? If you see, anyone can tamper any data. I mean, the artisans, suppose the artisans wants to sell it in $10, and but they do not get the actual price for which they are for which they are like valued for. But using this Web3 and NFTs, the artisans, the middleman, and also the final the final outcome, the customer, they will really get the real value rather than being there is a lot of corruptions, there is a lot of piracy. All these things will not happen in Web3. So Metaverse and Web3 will not not separate the traditional world. It will rather integrate the real world, the traditional market, and the future market, the metaverse digital market, in the best possible way. So suppose now everyone is wearing the sari and the outcomes, right? The outfits. In Web3, what will happen? You can carry these outfits to different kinds of world. So it is called interoperability, the feature of interoperability among the different worlds. I'll show you a video where you have created a metaverse for 370 million members community. It's it's a spiritual metaverse we have created for our client Art of Living International Center, and they have people from 180 countries. And when people from different countries can be present in single stop and they can experience the same thing, that is what the real power of metaverse. It's the best thing between the physical world and the digital world. If you draw a line from physical world and digital world, metaverse is nothing but experiencing the same thing in the physical thing in the digital world. Suppose I tell you, suppose this conference can be in metaverse. Suppose suppose I tell lot of creators are there. They have real talents. Some villages in Orissa, they have real talents of textiles. But that cannot be brought out to the whole world. No one knows. It goes to US, it maybe they pay 10 times more. But in metaverse, what can happen? These artisans can be given stalls. You can reimagine the metaverse. They can really be in their avatar form, and they can sell that directly to the people who are in the whole around from the whole world, right? So basically, you are creating a space where each artisan, the real talented, they can be exposed to the outer world, and people can really experience the physical, like how we interact physically with the people in the metaverse. That is what the power of metaverse is. That is why they are telling metaverse is going to be $6 trillion to $13 trillion market by 2030. And as in India, when you have lot of rich culture, when you have lot of rich artisans, I think metaverse is the best way to have a great business model. I'm telling you. And you will be amazed. They are called Gen Z and Gen Alpha. They want to buy virtual shoes, which is 10 times more than the real shoes price. Suppose I have a Nike shoes, it costs 2,000 rupees. But the Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they want to buy it for 50,000 rupees. And why they want to buy it? Because they want to showcase, they want to have a hype in the digital world. That is, they want to show up themselves digital world. So just imagine an artisan who is not able to sell physically, but if he has talent, if he or she can give input to the designs, his talents can be produced to the whole world in metaverse, which is not possible maybe in physical. That man cannot travel to US, but he can showcase that same thing in the metaverse world, maybe more gamified way. And using the power of technology of NFT, no one can also remove his ownership. Suppose Mr. X and Y has produced this image or produced this artisans, that will be minted on blockchain. So no one can tell that he is not the owner of this art piece or this textiles. So I think it's a high time every textile industry, every artisans, every talent creators, every business model should think in terms of Web3, because the world is very fastly. If you talk of the Western world, Nike, yesterday I was reading about Nike, they have now started their own creators model. Like you can create your shoes, you can sell your shoes, and they have, if you read the NFT use cases, they have made this nice, especially the sports brands. I think he will talk more. The sports brand have made lot of millions just by selling virtual. Can you just imagine? They have not sold the physical out stuff. Only by selling virtual out stuff, maybe they have done 10 times more profit just by selling the virtual things. I think that is the power of
Very
it.
interesting. So I don't know how many people in the audience have really seen a metaverse kind of. Let's have that.
Yeah, can you have the video, please? Yeah,
Would you like these lights to go?
yeah, that
Can
will be
you
better.
switch off these lights, please?
And little bit more sound. And you can experience this metaverse in VR device, in your mobile, in your web. You can experience this.
All lights, please. But it's good to have that immersive experience and see this. And then you can start thinking how you can connect your artisans, craftsperson, the lady there who is talking to me about biodegradable packaging material. So think how can you can do that. Okay, put this thoughts together. We share this also if we can.
And after video also I'll explain more like how it is, you know, like more beneficial. Till the video is on, I'll just give an example. Suppose this conference is in metaverse, then what would be the benefit? What would be the benefit? Each one of you are sitting in each table, right? So in your avatar, you will be sitting in the avatar in your like tables, and at the same time there will be different portals to go. Suppose someone has come from different textiles, so there will be different portals on the doors where you can directly come and click and go to that shop. So you are coming and attending an event, at the same time you are going and buying the stuff by traveling to different worlds of metaverse. So there is commerce and at the same time exposure of talent at the same time. So yeah, this is the video.
Well, let's do that with this. Fantastic. These lights also. The first piece.
With more sound.
Sound कर लीजिए और.
this was the spiritual metaverse which I created for the Art of Being Internet Center. So it was nice, right?
So you need to tell the audience how it can be useful. That's more important. Okay. Okay. When we'll discuss this later, would like to hear from you what is the organization, how do you think the world of tomorrow would be, and also look at technical textiles, and you guys are experts in that. So let's hear what your organization is looking at as far as technical textiles is concerned.
Thank you, sir. So, my name is Falguni and I am from Decathlon Sports India. So, this name is not a new name for all of you today. I have a small presentation to give to show you how the brand like Decathlon is looking forward to have their own production manufacturing units, how they look like, how the manufacturing unit will look like, how the supply chain will look like, and in terms of technical textile, what would be the global volume, from where we are purchasing, how India can play a big role in terms of technical textile manufacturing for Decathlon and global.
Can we have what's your presentation called?
Start from here.
Okay, can we have this presentation, please?
So, I will talk about mainly the 4 strategies that Decathlon is having for the
You would
future.
have a limited amount of time.
Yeah, very short, maybe 5 to 10 minutes max. And I will share you the global picture of Decathlon purchasing, which is specifically linked to technical textile and synthetic manufacturing, and opportunities for India, how India can play a big role. So this is our purpose, to sustainably make pleasure and benefit of sports accessible to the many. We put sustainably as above of everything, because we are a sport brand and we want to protect our planet, we want to protect our playground. If our playground is not there, probably the company will not stand. And for us also it is very important. After COVID, everyone knows the importance of being sustainable and manufacturing sustainable. These are the main 4 strategies that Decathlon will be focusing in the future, which is flex to customer. So this is more of producing where it is selling. So it is more of nearshoring. For example, if we are selling in India, we try to promote more and more production in India. If we are selling in Vietnam, Bangladesh, China, we try to produce more and more in the local zone. Plus to optimize the supply chain. So that creates more and more pollution and CO2 emission. So in order to reduce, cut down the supply chain across the world, we want to make it locally and faster the supply chain. Relevance of our technical and component offer. So earlier, technical textile and sport textile, it was more of functionality and more technical components or technical offers. But today's generation, and we also in sports also, we can see a lot of colors and beautiful fabrics, beautiful garments are there in the store. So not only the technicity but also the offer range that we would like to focus. Sustainability for the many. So whatever we produce, probably it will be 100% sustainable material. If it is polyester, recycled polyester, low-grade polyester. If it is cotton, probably post-consumer waste cotton and organic cotton. And digital excellence, so we want to be more and more data-driven company, so capture more and more data, and also to share with all our manufacturing partners who can utilize the data for their future investment and take a better call for the future. So this I will not go deeper. So this is, if you have visited Decathlon, you must have seen a lot of brands are there. So each sport is having one fashion brand. So 3 sports, major sports, which is trekking, mountain hiking and skiing, they represent almost 40% of our store turnover, and everything 60 to 70% of the product are coming from technical textiles. Whether it is lamination, whether it is coated, whether it is some high abrasion synthetic components. 8 major sport which represent 44% of the store turnover is also linked to snow hiking, nature hiking, swimming, hunting, etc. In terms of product category which fits for technical textiles, so you can see taping products, which is taping jacket and pants, which represent almost 31% of the turnover. So again, these are all from technical textiles. So all the products which is having more and more functionality, it's coming from there. Non-tapping synthetic and non-tapping synthetic heavy, this is also representing more than 60%. So in our company as a sport brand, we represent only 6% of natural fabric or natural garments. Rest all is synthetic. This is interesting. So in terms of purchasing, we segregate the world purchasing into 4 different zones. So North Asia, Asia, South Asia, and Europe and Africa. The first row, you can see the garment manufacturing happening in 4 different zones. So North Asia, which is mainly China, Taiwan, and Japan. So in terms of garment purchasing, they represent 32% of the turnover. But if you go down, you can see the fabric manufacturing happening in China, Taiwan, and Japan is 77% of the turnover. So meaning the technical textile production in these countries are very high. They are producing for themselves, but they are also supplying for the other countries. Whereas if you see India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, in terms of garment manufacturing, we represent 38%, more than China, Taiwan, Japan. But in terms of raw material production component, we represent only 4% of the turnover. So everything is imported today, it is not produced in India. So there is a huge scope for India, Bangladesh, Pakistan as a country to work and to make the local production happen in India in order to boost the garment also and reduce the import of all the manufacturing from other countries. So how it can happen? So when we go deeper to find the local manufacturing in many companies, many states in India, we analyze why India is lagging. So probably there could be some points of improvement as a country that we can focus in terms of our future investment is we don't have much of investment in terms of man-made division. So India being a country for cotton and natural, we are very strong, we are going very faster, but in terms of polyester, nylon and elastane, maybe we are lagging behind. Thanks to the government initiative that they have recently taken for PLI scheme, a lot of big companies now they are coming out of natural and investing more and more technical textiles. Special trade benefits not only for export but also for import can play a big role. Today, when we talk about technical textiles, a lot of chemicals that is imported from Taiwan and China. So even if we have the manufacturing facility in India, we are still dependent on other countries to have the raw material, and that makes the India more costlier to be competitive in global purchasing policy and panel. To focus on compliance part, so yes, there are small industries and factories are there, but today I don't know how much compliance we are maintaining with the factory. So when we go for purchasing, we face a lot of difficulties in terms of our global purchasing. So compliance could be one part that the factory owners and the investors here can focus more and more to make India more attractive for global players. Innovative lab and research center, this is also again in terms of technical textiles, we are lagging here. We have a good lab for cotton and natural, but we are lagging for technical textile and synthetics. And green is the new black that we say today. It's not only manufacturing, but manufacturing the products, but also how sustainably we are manufacturing. Whether the factory is having renewable energy or not, whether they have signed the SBTi target or not, whether they are producing more and more sustainable raw materials or not, that makes a big role in terms of our global strategy. So probably this can help for the future.
Very interesting, very interesting. Thank you so much for this. I'm sure through this we get a reasonably good idea on what a large global company is really looking at. And when I'm talking about, you talk about sports tech, Dr. Mohan, sports tech is a favorite area of yours, and I believe you've been working on it for quite some time. And especially with what the representative from the company has said, what do you think you as a new manufacturer, a new enterprise, a startup in the sector for which this organization is a real client? What are your thoughts on that? So please talk about your product, what do you do, and how can it be linked?
Thank you, Dr. Nigam. Good afternoon, all of you. My name is Mohan, founder and CEO of CONCLAVE. It sounds very big, but our team is very small. We are a startup, about 10 people working out of Bengaluru. A few years back, we started on a journey where we said that Bengaluru being the IT capital and the software capital, why not we start making smart textile-based wearables? So we started that journey a few years back, and just this year we launched a product. And I think for the India launch, it was your event in March. Thanks for that. We also launched in the Indian Premier League with the famous team Chennai Super Kings. Most recently, we have got an order from one of the biggest brands in India, and the launch is likely to happen in the upcoming gym season, right? I think post-COVID, the trend has been a lot of people want to come out and mingle and socialize because we have all been cooped up in our own homes and offices, home offices, and it became very difficult for us to actually get the supply chain organized. One is on the textile side, fabrics are still a problem, as you mentioned. We don't manufacture these technical textiles. And also on the electronic side, there are a lot of component shortage. Right? So somehow we could launch, in fact, we have started manufacturing in India, very nearby in India. I think sports as an industry is pretty huge. A recent report from one of the market research firms said that by 2027, India will have $100 billion kind of industry. So that's massive, right? I mean, we don't actually today have sports as an industry. Yes, it's organized in a certain way, but it's not an industry. It's not recognized as an industry. But soon that's going to happen. And globally, you can see that there are plenty of opportunities. The FIFA World Cup is just going to happen from this weekend. So India being such a huge exporter of handlooms and other stuff, this also could be a big sector which we can focus on. And once you have a base where you can embed electronics, have software running on it, the potential is immense. Because we started with sports because that's the most exciting thing. India has got a very young demographic, so we wanted to target that. But if you think about it, the technology is also scalable to healthcare because we are monitoring the heart rate, respiration, temperature, and so on. So it can go to health tech, it can go to industrial IoT, it can go to military. In fact, we have an ongoing exploration with the defense. Defense has close to 800 crores budget for technical textiles-based products. So within the domestic market itself, we have ample scope. A lot of us, at least our kids, start looking at Nike, Puma, and all those brands. But I think it's time we need to focus a lot on locally developed brands because there's immense talent here, as a gentleman was saying that there's plenty of talent out here, plenty of creativity. I think we need to encourage that. And for that to happen, a lot of things have to start here as a Make in India kind of programs, right? I think the government has put a lot of effort and monies and time into framing that. So I think even at an educational level, I'm actually a visiting faculty at NIFT. I've taught 2 semesters of smart wearables courses, right? As an educational institution also, I think it would make sense to provide some confidence to the students that they can build an India-based brand. A lot of times we take interns and then they say, no, this is a startup, this is a new brand, and so on, and then they go for the usual suspects, right? So I think the workforce and bringing them into this new industry is also very critical, because in few years' time we will have a huge shortage of labor even in the manufacturing, right? I'm sure anybody from the manufacturing sector here would appreciate that it's becoming very, very difficult to find skilled labor, and most of them are going from towns to cities, want to get into the IT world and so on, right? I just brought it up because of the MSME flavor here, right? So I think there is huge opportunity, no doubt about it, and for India I think the sky is the limit. But we need to grab them, and we need to grab them with good strategies, good support from the government, and also from the bottom-up approach. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Moore. Very interesting. So we talked about metaverse, we talked about technical textile, and so probably last 2 minutes with each one of you, where I want you to merge the two. You have technical textiles, you have metaverse, you have an international opportunity. How can we do that? And I want you to think right now, as we're there, what can we do with Dr. Mohan's products on the sports side? What can your organization do looking at metaverse? And what are you? So let's spend 2 minutes on that before maybe take up Q&A.
Thank you. In fact, this metaverse, yeah, just now I observed, it is very excellent. It is excellent that they shown. And now it is virtual, but spiritual. Okay, spiritual. And of course, it will be as Mr. Ajit told, that how it will be useful. The audience or the general people, they have to know. Like in fact, I am not a technical person. I am the entrepreneur. I have my technical people in my company. I have my this from my garment, from my textile, from my, but they can give good reply about this technical any questions technical related to the technical matter. But as I observed, this is good if you can give this awareness to the people and the general people, they can understand easily. And also this. One thing I like to tell, that whatever, this is the technical textile or this is the other whatever, you should have the skilled manpower for your any company. Just as an entrepreneur, I like to tell you that you as also this Mr. Mohan maybe he just mentioned about the skilled labor force. Maybe you have the lacking. This are not only in India, this everywhere everywhere. Whatever you say, this is Europe, America, or this Asia, everywhere. But if you can train them, if you can skill them, make them skilled, you will be the benefited. So this should be from the government, not only also from the private sectors. And for the Bangladesh, when I came here, many friends of Indian friends, they asked me how the Bangladesh like this position in our garment sector. You know, we're the second largest in the world now in the garments manufacturing and exporting. These are the main two things. Our workers, they are very hard-working labor force. Our labor force, I mean, workers, very hard-working. I don't know here how the people, how the workers they take it. You know, they do. Usually they are working maybe 8 hours. But if we need for our shipment, it is very urgent shipment. They work even 18 hours. But they want some money. Not only this our garments factory. Also in our human resource market in abroad, you see, the Bangladeshi workers, they are working, whenever they get some extra money, they are working for the long time. But we get also the same information from some employer, the Nepali workers, the competitors, after 5 p.m., after 6 p.m., they want to take daru. Sorry, like this. They tell me that they don't want to work more. They are not looking for the money. So this is our Bangladeshi people, I mean Bangladeshi workforce. They are working very hard. If they get some facilities, they come out. So here also in India, India is a very big country. We have a lot of population. Of course, we have a very lot of skilled people, but the other maximum unskilled people you have to train them.
Right, thank you. And so really what we're talking about, what Dr. Mohan told, and you also seconded that's we need to reskill. As these things are changing, metaverse requires different skill set. Your technical textiles requires different skill set. So what are your last thoughts?
So, this is not a digital world, right? It's an internet-driven digital world. So metaverse is part of a digital world. It's unless you start wearing a immersive wearable like a virtual headset, you will not feel in the metaverse, right? So technology has always been giving insights and inputs, visibility, value chain integration, communication. Everything is getting, the world is getting closer, relative because of internet and technology and digitization. So it's just an extension of that. Metaverse or Web3, these are all extension of digitization. And so even without any metaverse, we can connect with somebody sitting in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, and we can talk, we can showcase products also, just with a website, right? It's digital. Only thing is that digital catalog viewing is becoming more immersive viewing. Right now it's a third party view. That means you are represented through an avatar and you can wear things. It's a third party view. But once you have your headsets coming in, like in the next 1 or 2-3 years, you will have all these, like the way we have smartphones today. Very soon we will have head-mounted devices or eye-mounted devices. So that makes you look around and feel like you are in there. It's a very immersive. So it's an immersive world we are getting into. It's just internet. There is nothing big in metaverse. It's digitization through website. It became very digital catalog world. Then it became more video based. So I can do a Zoom call and do this conference. But it is going to be even more immersive when I have a headset. So the digital world into a video live streaming world is going to again strengthen through immersive world. Because that is driven through the technology that we came from gaming. Gaming is an immersive experience.
I want to add one more thing, like the gentleman said, rightly said, it's an immersive experience. The one more thing is that the right distributions of the resources among each stakeholders, starting from artisans to the final end product, the customer. How can every resource be rightly distributed among each stakeholders? It is only possible through blockchain technology. So metaverse is nothing without blockchain. When you speak of metaverse, it's not only what you see, it's a very fancy thing, immersive thing, but the underlying skeleton is the blockchain technology, which is making this metaverse powerful. I mean, like suppose we have a very nice shoes designed by a local artisans. Okay, if you not of shoes, maybe a nice shirt or like a handlooms designed by local artisans. But the local artisans doesn't get royalty, doesn't get the real value in terms of the marketing. So metaverse with blockchain technology will allow each and every stakeholders, starting from the marketing partners, the people who are in the middle, they will also get the right amount of resources. At the same time, it is transparent. Everyone can see who is getting what, who has done what. It is only possible through blockchain technology. Otherwise, in this, till now, it is not possible. But with technology and with metaverse, when I talk of metaverse, it is not only the immersive what you see here. It is the underlying agent, the NFTs, which is based on the blockchain technology, which has the open ledger book. Everyone has data, who has done what. This man has designed this, then it is passed on to this man. They have marketed this, then they should get this much percentage of according to. So there is kind of a transparency in the marketing, in the whole ecosystem. And that is what will change, and that is what will do justice to each and every stakeholders. And I think that this will be a better world.
Right, so you're talking about social impact, the kind of impact we're going to make on the, and then each person involved starts becoming economically empowered to do so. So, yes, so from a large corporate.
So it's a very good technology that we have seen, but today we really don't know whether this is going to replace the actual product or actual manufacturing or not. It would be very good to understand how this metaverse will help the brands to redesign their website to enhance their digital sales. Today, more of the product that the customer can see in web portal, but how, thanks to this metaverse, how they can come to this portal and experience the product digitally and purchase the product digitally.
Does the company have a metaverse play at the moment?
At the moment, no, but we would like to.
So yes, that's a conversation. And Dr. Mohan, very interesting to hear from you again. So, your thoughts?
I have my own personal opinions about metaverse, which I don't want to share too much because I think it's a physical world at the end of the day. I mean, we had probably the metaverse and all the hype which I think came about is probably because again we were all connected in the virtual world during the COVID. But now I'm seeing people just want to come out, right, and they want to wear. If you think about what are the two industries which have actually restarted and had very good growth, one is the travel industry. I'm sure most of you would have traveled at least 3 or 4 times by now, post-COVID. And the second is the retail industry. I was very surprised when I was talking to a brand here, one of the biggest brands. They said people actually bought what is called revenge retail, right? So they went about buying a lot, and all of them want to physically look at the products and buy, right? But metaverse does have its applications. I'm sure it will have its pluses and minuses like any other technology. I think the point about reskilling and upskilling people, I think metaverse plays an important role. For example, I could have a Bangladeshi worker, train somebody here through metaverse, for example. Right? That's a possibility through the immersive experience. But it's also been known through, the science that too much of immersiveness, wearing this bulky headset, leads to a lot of problems. One of which is migraine.
Right, Dr. Mohan, very interesting was this in this panel that two diverse opinions came. One is saying, you know what, that's the future. Second is not really agreeing to it. They said, okay, yes, there could be some component, but would it be just the metaverse, or it will be a digital one? We really don't know. We have to wait and watch. And I would like to have 2 questions from the audience. In case anybody would like to ask a question to the panel members, please do that. Any questions from the audience? All right, thank you so much for the lovely. So there's a question, sir. Oh, okay. Can we have lights, please? I'm sorry, I didn't see his hand at all.
This is the program hosted by different industrial associations and WASPI especially. From the farmer point of view, if I being the member of Bamboo Society of India, there is a wide potential in India to develop bamboo-based yarn or techno-textile where improvisation can happen. Even here we have delegates from the Bangladesh. Even bamboo, Bangladesh is importing many plastic-based buttons, especially. So those things, product can be developed here in India, and a collaboration can happen. So from technology point of view, so all expertise here. So to the panelist, one is interesting is the metaverse. Okay, definitely upskilling it helps, sir. We are coordinating for Gadag MSME. Gadag is a district in Karnataka where a handloom-based cluster is being revived by
Sir, can you
SFURB.
come specifically to the question?
Yeah,
sir?
question to the metaverse, how end farmer or artisan can get more benefit to take the product to the sales level?
Okay, anybody from the metaverse specialist?
It's just a digital medium, so it will obviously give more connectivity, and the way the grassroots farmers and the SMEs are getting connected through internet and digitization. Metaverse will be just another medium. So through that you get a lot of data and insights. Like for example, before manufacturing, right now you may do some analytics on the sales that has happened historically. There is forecasting, and then you will, based on that, you will manufacture or even grow fiber-based raw materials, right? But then the metaverse is giving another new age trend analytics. If you see, more than 30-40% of textile and fashion assets, they're all dumped. There's so much of wastage. That means that the textile manufacturers, SMEs, are not producing for the demand. You should know what are the people actually intending to buy and consume, and if there is a mismatch, there will be a lot of wastages, right? The entire supply chain will incur a huge loss even for the country. So metaverse gives that insights and input. If 10 million people or 100 million people are wearing a green color or some kind of a fiber on an avatar, you know what to manufacture, right? So NFT, digital asset wearables in the metaverse, in an immersive world, will give you insights on what kind of trend is there in the near future or even currently. These are digital inputs that the supply side of the industry should obtain, and as governments and associations, federations in the country, across Asia and every country should take this seriously, because these are new age inputs. Like the new age teenagers, youngsters who are coming in the next 4-5 years, they will be in the mainstream workforce. But they are very active in the gaming side, so their style of wearing, what they wear, is completely different. So this kind of input and insight is necessary to be passed on to the manufacturers, the SMEs, so that then there is lesser wastage in the ecosystem.
Very interesting. I had not really thought of from this perspective. Interesting. You wanted to add something?
I want to add to his answers. He's rightly correct. Like next 4-5 years, after 10 years, they are called Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Those who have not seen without internet. Like from smartphone, एक बच्चे भी होते हैं तो smartphone आजकल पकड़ते तो उन लोग smartphone के बिना क्या जिंदगी उनको पता ही नहीं है. They don't know what is internet without, what is the life without smartphone or internet. So their view is there. The report by Gartner, by McKinsey is telling they are going to spend more and more in digital goods. And in terms of your answers, I would like to add. So there are two things. Metaverse is not like it is only the what people perceive. It is only the cartoonist world, game world. It's a virtual world.
So it can be used as an alternative sales channel to generate data and also look at that.
Yeah, one point. And other point, NFTs. Like artisans can build the physical sort of the things, and also he can sell his digital identity, the digital thing, and this digital price can go to multi-million dollar if it is backed by any celebrity. So there's a possibility of selling both his digital thing and also his physical thing, which were not possible in earlier days.
Okay, so let's continue this conversation after this panel. All these eminent personalities are available. I would request all of you to have a one-to-one discussion, get deeper inside, see how your business can be tuned to the new age technologies, and we take it up from there. Thank you so much for being here. Lovely discussion. Lovely talking to you.
thank all our dignitaries and panel members for a very insightful panel discussion and presentation. I now request Mr. Dharamveer Singh and Dr. Sanjeev Lai to facilitate our honorable dignitaries on dais. I also request Yash Arya to accompany Dr. Sanjeev Lai. I would request all the panel members kindly assemble on the dais. Process Leader, Decathlon Sports India. Mr. Satyamrut, Chief Metaverse Product Manager, Sumeru Digital Solutions.